Do. Yeah, geeks. I'm live. Just messing around. This is the free version, so I'm using StreamYard in case we need to share any screens. Just wanted to do an impromptu hangout. What are you guys doing? What's up, Vaughn? YouTube these nuts. YouTube these nuts. What's up? What are y'all doing? Y'all doing any winter fishing? Sorry, I'm still trying to get things set up here. I'm not sure if any or none of this is working. What's up, Mike? I was streaming on my Facebook too, but maybe not. Watch, it's probably streaming on like my personal Facebook, which would not be happiness. Trevor, I heard you got a hold of my boy. So that's good. I think you'll do a great job. What's up, Chris? What's up, Big Malone? How's it going, sir? You doing good? Y'all doing some winter fishing? I know I am. And it's been a grind already, unfortunately. I have no. If anybody's watching this on Facebook, I apologize because I can't see if it's working or not. Guess I should have tested that before I just jumped into it. It has been a while. We've done some on the water. I really like doing those. We got the Starlink, and I really enjoy doing that. What's going on, Steven? Sorry, guys. I just kind of decided to jump in and do one for about an hour, say hi to everybody, talk to you about a little bit of fishing, that sort of stuff. Just see what's going on. If anybody's on Facebook, tell me if this is actually showing up. I don't really think it is. But anyway, Chris, you ain't doing no winter fishing. I'll tell you what. Is it me or is it just got cold early this year? Has it just got cold early? What about you all in your neck of the woods? Because it's definitely got cold where I'm at. I don't like it. What's up, Scott? Oh, Hammer Dome on Watauga. That is a lake that I do plan on fishing a little bit more this year. But just really haven't fished that lake. It's just a little bit of a drive for me. But I do want to go up there and fish a little bit. I've always, had fun when I go there. But also, not being full time yet, what really stinks is, you go fish for half a day and you got to film for half a day. So, that's, Chris, that's what I was thinking. Snowing there again, Mike. I'm sorry. That sucks. Mountains of North Carolina, man, you ride up. That's the good thing about kind of where I live at. Like you got the North Carolina, Tennessee mountains on this side, and you got the Kentucky, Virginia mountains on this side. So we kind of in this little, if it comes down, like a lot of the stuff that hit up north, it kind of bounces off those mountains. If it comes up, from down your way, it bounces off those mountains, goes up through Richmond. So it has gotten cold early. What's going on, Redbeard? I'll tell you what, man. So they're where I'm at, and Mike, on Watauga, or who was it said is on Watauga? Was it you, Mike? Anyway, so are you scoping out there? Are they really gathered up out there? Or are they still kind of, you know, they're they're not really on South Holston. At least I've kind of I spent a lot of last winter down the lake, so I'm spending a lot of this winter kind of up the lake. Uh, yeah, from Top Secret Lake, yes. But so up the lake, man, I've not really like I found a bunch of shad, but they're up shallow, kind of spread out, gathering up that last little bit of sun. And not really seen, at least early in the mornings, we've seen some fish out there busting and hitting later in the day as you get to that 2 o'clock hour. But most everything I'm catching on Soho is like, down on the ends of trees with an Alabama rig. So found a few things though, been playing around, found some timber and stuff and some brush piles that are kind of incognito that I've really enjoyed. Chris, fire away if you got a question, man. 62-degree in northern Colorado tomorrow? Man, I would say you're lucky, but Colorado, I know what the weather's like out there. Collarbone top, yeah, 51, 52. I've not really. Now, was that in the morning, or is that because what I've kind of discovered, especially on those lakes, is that really once you get into that 20 or that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, that's right now. That's when you're seeing a lot of fish bust. There's some places where they're up. Of course, as you get up the lake, we've been fishing really from about Washington County up, and but it gets a little colder up there, and they get a little more stingy. Of course, every time I've went, the wind's been blowing so bad too. Ever go to Hyco? I have not been to Hyco down in North Carolina. Yeah, the sun brings them up. It's like, man, I'm telling you, we was up there the other day and it was sunny, and it really doesn't matter if it's sunny or not. Like they do like it a little calmer, and a lot of. Have you ever noticed that? Like they like it slick, a little more slick. If it's slick, even if it's cloudy, I think that radiation, that heat, that UV light or whatever you want to call it, gets down to the surface of that water and warms them up a little bit. Because if it's slick, man, they'll get out there and bust too. And I swear it's like they turn on. It's like they're in the trees up until 2, and then after 2, they just come out. I like to do more tournaments, but I'll tell you something. Listen, here's how I kind of feel about tournament fishing. Tournament fishing to me is a negative income sort of deal, right? So over the past few years, what I've been trying to do is save money, build up enough money that I can have a nest egg so that I can get out. And, I don't get huge views, and a lot of that has to do with the channel being old and, all that stuff. And, so I don't get paid big money by sponsors, and YouTube Shorts, heck, don't pay. I mean, it's a joke what YouTube. If you ever want to know what somebody makes on YouTube, I'll tell you what. Go take, I think it is somewhere in the neighborhood of like, just say on average, take $8 and then multiply that by however many views their video gets, and you'll see how much they make on YouTube. So, and that's $8 per 1,000 views. You'll find out real quick they don't make a lot. Not enough to live and pay a house payment and boat payment and truck payment and car payment. So you want to know why I'm not full time? That's why I'm not full time yet. I'm working toward it. I'm getting there. But I tell you, it amazes me. You'll get these people, and look, guys, if y'all get mad because I've got sponsors, I do it the best way I can. I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, I have no exclusive sponsors. I don't. I can talk about any bait I want to, and I talk about a ton of baits. There's a ton of baits I talk about, and rods and reels that I talk about. They don't pay me nothing for it, and but if you really want to go fishing and be a YouTuber, you can do it two different ways. You can be a more serious YouTuber, or you can be fishing with Norm and all those guys. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just not who I am. Could you see me out there, doing goofy shit? It ain't gonna happen, man. It just ain't who I am. I enjoy the learning, the breaking down. It's why I'm such a live scope guy, man. Because the stuff that you learn and the movements. Shout out to my buddy Brian and Thomas, the podcast of Fishing the DMV. We were talking about winter fishing tonight. And, we were talking just about that, Mike. We were talking about how they move based on time of day. And so your warmer time of the day is going to be in the evening. They don't like wind as much this time of year. We always hear wind is your friend. Well, why don't they like wind? Well, because the air temperatures are cooler. So when that wind starts blowing, it mixes in cold air and lowers the surface temps, and it keeps light penetration from coming in. So what happens then? No light, cold air mixing in with cold wind. All of a sudden, your surface temps aren't warm anymore. So now you've got a cold surface temp. The bass don't want to be up there. The shad sure don't want to be up there. And, the thing about like thread fin is what you see at the surface, by the way, Mike. You probably know all this. But when you get out on a lake and you're running your side scan and you're running your down scan, a lot of times what you're going to see is down deeper, you're going to have those alewives. They like to get down in those creek channels, right in the bottom. But up shallow, you're going to see all this shad, and that's thread fin. They like the sun. They like the warmth. They like the heat. So they're going to be up shallow. A lot of times you'll get smaller bass chasing those, and, on our lakes. So, being able to watch, I know, when we were watching largemouth, big schools of largemouth on a top secret Lake F over in Virginia this year, Super Clear Lake. Yes. So, what ends up happening a lot of times over there is you can tell, as soon as you get to the nighttime, as soon as we start getting dark, after that 5, 6 o'clock, even during the summer, you'll see those big schools disappear in the evening. You'll see they won't come up until about, 9 o'clock a.m. in the morning. Well, you see the same thing in the winter, except the reverse. So what happens is through the day in the morning, they're in there, they're tight to the bottom, they're tight to cover and structure. And then as the day goes on, as it warms up, then they start coming back out. So it's really neat. And the stuff that you get to learn about that is really interesting fun. You also learn what tight bite windows mean, because you start to notice how far, when they're active, they'll follow and bite versus how not far they'll follow and bite when they're cold. It's pretty interesting, the stuff that you get to learn like that. And the good news for all you guys that don't have live scope, I share a lot of stuff with you that you can use, without it. Because believe it or not, retrieve speed is extremely important. So sorry. I hope all that was a brain dump right there. I hope a lot of that stuff was some good info. What's up, Vintage? But that was some good info, and that's some good info on about any lake I've been to. I know, Mike, we was on Norris 2 years ago. We'd really fished it during January and February early, And it was wild because you could go, I think we've got this in a video somewhere. You could go down the lake and you wouldn't see shad on your down imaging because they were so shallow they'd move out of the way, but then you would see them on your side imaging. It looked like just these huge schools, but as you would watch, they were that shallow. They were just spread out like a carpet on the surface of the water. Just really, some of the stuff in that, like I said, that's not even, down or live scope. That's, you know, yeah, you can watch those. A lot of times, those smaller bass be out there chasing those thread fin. Those thread fin are really little, and I think those smaller bass sometimes will be now in the evenings. I think they'll be less than that. Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate that, and Trevor, I appreciate you because Trevor, I know you guys are all good anglers in here, and I just enjoy it, man. I enjoy that learning, figuring things out, seeing things different. We found this brush pile that I didn't know was there offshore the other day, just stumbled across it. Stuff like that is always the coolest. Seems like that's how I get on a lot of the bites that I get on. I'll never forget one time I was sitting in this pocket on South Holston, and I'd actually pulled in there to take a phone call from my wife, and I'm sitting there looking at my 2D, and there's just all these shad on the bottom, and all of a sudden, there's just these bass down there in like 80 foot of water. And, I was just dead set that I was going to figure out how to catch those fish. And I did. I hate it. It's hard work, man. Dropping on them down that deep, that's some hard work. I just soon go ahead and try and find them up a little shallower than that. That is hard work. What's that, Mr. Vintage? What kind of... Oh, I've learned a good bit. Well, I appreciate that. If you fish saltwater, by the way, for all you guys that are in here and you might not know, we did a little stocking stuffer that NetBait sent us. And really cool little kits. You might want to go check that video out because we are giving some of them away. When it's dark, that's some of the best times to go, Chris. It's some of the best time to throw surface baits. Now I don't fish a lot at night. I don't know. I just never have liked it a whole lot. Did I get a local pie? I did not, Mike. I did not. I forgot about that. Panfish. I like panfish now. I don't put a lot. We did do a little panfishing the other day, and I'll be honest with you, like when we was out there, we were originally going to fish for bass, and we started noticing that our Lornet Banking Creek bag was all panfish, and it was funny because we pull right up on this brush pile, this lay down, and I throw in there, and I catch a really good crappie. And I look at Mike, and I'm like, man, there's a ton in there. And then we go to the next tree, and there's another one, and there's just a ton in there. So we just turned it into a day of crappie or crappie fishing, however you want to call it, sandwich fishing. But what kills me about it is that I had to work early the next morning. I knew we were going to be out on the lake late. So, because I was wanting to load up. And man, we didn't get to. Just killed me because I just wasn't going to have time to clean them the next day. So, or that evening, because I was going to have to come home and put my stank rear end in the shower and get ready for work the next day. Hello, Lake Cumberland. Best wings I ever had. Now, where is this at? Because, Hilton Head is kind of our that's mine and the wife's jam. So I'm sure we'll be craving to get back down there next year. With the economy and everything here lately and trying to save money, we're we're kind of only doing it every other year right now. But you said local pie. Hmm. Is that the name of it? I don't know if I've ever even heard of that. Cumberland Lake, man. God, that place. That's one of those lakes that I have this love-hate relationship with. And generally, those are the type of lakes that I'm most like if I go to a lake and I just catch giants all day and we slay them, I'm not motivated to go. But I go to Cumberland and that place kicks me in the what's. And it's why I fish all these lakes that I fish. I swear, if you see me fishing the same lakes over and over, you can about guarantee they're the toughest lakes you can go fish, because I've got this psychotic, I don't know what it is about me, but if I have a lake kick my ass, excuse my language, I can't stay away from it. I have to figure it out. And therefore, I've spent many days with goose eggs trying to figure out these places. Saltwater fishing lures. There's a lot, Chris. There's a lot of saltwater fishing lures that are coming in to play in the bass fishing world now. So, yeah, a great one is, about anything that's BR from Duo. That's all originally salt fishing lures. Behind McDonald's going toward Cligony. All right, I'll check that out. I have not been there, and I love a good, I love good wings. So Chris, I need to tell me a question for a good river being what is that, a chatterbait? Yeah, I mean, I'd suspect it'd be a good bait in the river. I mean, it just depends on how much current flow and how much stuff you're around. Uh, I'll tell you, I don't know how many of you all seen the video, but Chris, I'll give you this. Especially if you're around wood, and a chatterbait tends to be, if you can keep it, a chatterbait loves wood as much as I do, and something. So there's a company that come out with he called it a grass piece. But what I find about that bait, and really Pulse Fish came out with a little cheaper version that's just as good in my opinion, and it's called the Side Piece, and it comes through wood very, 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 very well. So I was really excited about that little bait. So, all right, say who's fishing this winter? Who's fishing? Who gets frozen? Who's up north? Who's down south? Who's got soft water? And who don't? That's one I want to know. Anybody know what you're getting? Like, are you picking up something for Christmas? You're upgrading your boat, kayak, or whatever. Tell me some of the stuff you're looking forward to. You looking forward to any sales? Look, I know things ain't cheap right now. So, are there some baits you're targeting wanting to go on sale? Let me know. Tell me what's going on. What's going on, Lowbrow? Listen, Lowbrow. You can punch me in the nose. I have forgot all about needing to talk to you. You sent me that text, and I have not called you, and I apologize, brother. I am so sorry. It's been crazy. Yeah, Cumberland is that's a different lake. I'll tell you what I don't like about Cumberland: all that wood in the spring, man. I got the Camus the first time out with the Camus and was hitting logs. I jokingly always joke, you can tell the difference between somebody that fishes Cumberland all the time and a local and a non-local. None of the locals have skegs on their motors. That lake can be spooky, man, with all the debris in it. braid swimmers. Oh, hair jigs. Man, I got a great little hair jig coming out, but it's a little different take on a hair jig video that's coming out. I think it's scheduled for later in the month. Frozen, caught a bass from a river in Thompson, Connecticut. If you're up that way, if it ain't froze, it's about to be, I guess. Got me a new LVS 34. Hey, have you had it out on the water yet, Harold? Hey, you know what? I think my transducer's going bad. I've got to find time to get on the water and call Garmin. I think I've wore my LVS plumb out. I'm looking forward to the East Tennessee Fishing Show, Bassmatic. Now, I will tell you, I don't think we're going to be down there working the show. So I think we may be down like Friday and Saturday. Not sure yet. Maybe Saturday, Sunday. I'll have to look at things. But so we'll see. We'll see how all that goes. And I'll make sure I tell you. I'll tell everybody, what days we'll be there. Got some arc reels. I've got a few of the arc reels, actually. Like them. Brent, yeah, you've not been. Hey, man, it's good. We don't do them. We're just kind of like this impromptu. Every once in a while I'll jump on. Now, once things kind of progress, which as we get into the new year, hopefully that's going to be sooner than later. We'll do this a little more often because we won't have that pesky day job, if you know what I'm saying. Some Tickle Top Waters, yeah. What do you mind telling us? What kind of top waters you're talking about? I'll tell you, I did an unboxing from Tackle Warehouse, and really the top water bite was off this year. So, I've been trying some more silent versions of top waters. So picked up some of those evergreens. Listen, I know Devo does this and he's pretty good at it. Let me see if I can figure it out. May not. But I'm really excited to try those, and I found some who is it? Scumfrog makes them. Like the soft, they're like a frog, but they're a walking bait. And so I'm interested in trying some of those out this year. Let's see. Video file. Oh, let's see. Slides, extra camera, screen share. There we go. Take away. Share it, I guess. They've started their 12 days of Christmas. Let's see. Who was it I said I was looking for? Evergreen. Gosh, that mouse scrolls slow. I'll have to get that fixed. Wait. Sorry, I put a new computer in, built one to help editing. And so, not quite used to it. Not Tackle Warehouse exclusives. I just want hard baits. What the heck? I want to follow the category. I love a good deep diving crankbait. New bestsellers. Where can I just go look at stuff? Come on now, Tackle Warehouse. Don't mess with me like this. Like the old shower blows, which is oddly enough an odd name for that. Why can I not find this? It's like I've never used Tackle Warehouse before. It's quite sad. What seriously, bestsellers? Where's just like the regular stinking terminal tackle shop all baits? Here we go. Finally, and tiny writing on the side. Come on, Tackle Warehouse. Be better, man. That looks good. I hadn't seen that yet. Sorry, I know I'm ignoring y'all. I get into you'll see some geeking out here. The JTs, yes. The 95s and the 15s. You guys ever use any of these? These are silent. Uh, so 4.5, 3.25, so 90 and what was it? I said 90 and 115. What is it? Millimeters? It's definitely not meters. I mean, could you imagine that, top water? But of course, I'm picking up these clear ones, the ice fish, the ghost olive shad. So, got to have a bone always. Snag proof. Yes, thank you. Snag proof. That's who it was. Interested in those. What's up, BA? Man, I ain't seen you in a minute. Specs on the new box. Lowbrow. Elaborate. Let's see, with the price of RAM now. Oh man, yeah. The memory was it was one of the biggest expenses. Which I mean, and I know this is a lot of money, but I mean this would be a good gamer. I put this together, and I specifically waited, Trevor, for the sales for Black Friday, but I put this together for like 13. Case. AM4. I didn't go with the 5 yet. Pretty good specs. 32 gig of memory, NVMe. Oh, I forget the things for it. But anyway, like a hard state hard drive plus a 6 terabyte spare hard drive. What's up, Kentucky? Man, how's it going? Yes, snag proof. They work really well. Good. I do. That's something. Mike, stop telling Alice. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. Joey, brother, I got to talk to you, man. I'll holler at you tomorrow after work. I am going to the Knoxville show. I haven't decided. We're probably not going to work it. I'm kind of getting out of the whole work it show deal. It just takes so much time. Bone is a great color for about any top water. Probably be down there. I'll probably stay one night and be down there for 2 days. I don't know if it'll be Saturday and Sunday or Friday and Saturday. We'll just have to see. I'll probably do about the same thing for the Knoxville show unless Camus wants me to come hang out with them for whatever reason. But yeah, man, really, really like those. And then what we was talking about a second ago was snag proof. Now, has anybody tried? So with the snag proof, which I can't wait to use those like around some heavy like tree cover, skipping those in there and then walking them out. And they got the popper too, which I'm really interested in. And then they've got one that's got like a propeller. See, there's the popper, the Zoo Pop. And let's see. The snag proof. So I wonder the prop. But this has got like a walking bait. I wonder if it'll walk at all. And I'll bet you, because I don't have my hands on one yet, I'll bet you. So there's a trick that I like to use, and I know this we're talking about not having any sound, but on these it's soft plastic ones, it's not as bad. But like a frog, I'll put a little slit down and put just a few BBs in there, so it makes the frog sit down just a little bit lower in the water. And I wonder if you could put that in there and maybe make the front kind of walk like a, even though with the prop kind of like a, like a shower blow, because your shower blows, they walk, but they more turn on that weighted butt than they do anything. Oh, you bought one last year and still haven't tried one. Amen to that. I don't know what you're amen into. Oh yeah, I forgot. See, look, this is how often I do live streams. I forgot that I can actually put your all's zoo pop. That's one of the questions I've had is if it walks really well or the zoo pup. That's interesting. So that's good because those soft plastics, I'd seen them, but I hadn't been there. The Corbin show. Now I will say I am thinking about coming to the short Corbin show. What I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start doing some rotations, and the Corbin show's close enough to where I can run up there and like spend a day and then come back. So that's a show that I'm interested in. So I may end up being there, and like I said, I'll definitely tell everybody. I'll put out some posts and stuff, letting everybody know. 4 or 5 snag proofs. That's cool. Claude, good to see you. I may do it. Skylar. I may get a head up that way. Yeah. So anyway, some cool stuff right there. So what baits y'all throwing right now? For the guys that are fishing, what baits are you throwing? You don't have to give us a color, but what's one of your favorite baits to throw in, what month is this? December? Wait a minute. Let's talk Christmas. What's everybody doing for Christmas? What's everybody doing? I don't even know if I have to work. Listen, I will tell you this. You see those two right there? Those two right there. I don't know how to do this. Anyway, these two. So I'm going to tell you a little something. So I coached for ICO, played a couple years for ICO, went to ICO. My son played for ICO. My daughter played, not football, but for ICO. But she helped out a lot with filming and, all that stuff. She's been on the chain gang because we were always around it. And I've got to give a huge shout out to Rycove High School. They made their first state championship, which we absolutely are going to Saturday. I'm so happy for them, so proud. And that is a big deal for me. I'm a big football fan. For all of you all that don't know, fishing, football, a couple other F's in there. Eating ham, you know that. I didn't get this by not eating that. There'll be some pies and banana pudding. I don't know what else. Maybe some pineapple upside down cake. I'm 90% catfishing all of Christmas, then going to the family, then back out on the water. Nice. You keeping cats? You just catching and releasing? What are you doing? Northern Alabama. I was watching a guy who fishes Alabama, and Northern Alabama, I don't really know right now. I mean, it's pretty, Northern Alabama, South Tennessee. I mean, they're pretty close. I mean, it's going to be a lot of the same things. If you blades, rattle traps, A-rigs, jigs, jerk baits, that sort of stuff. Finesse swim baits are great this time of year. I seen Sonar fishing. He was talking about, he fishes Chick in the Tennessee River. And if you're, Northern Alabama, you may be in that Gunnersville sort of area, that Tennessee River area. and that sort of stuff is going to play there. Catch and release unless, yeah, it's a crappy amen to that. It hurt my soul when I had to release those the other day. So if I'd had time to catch them and clean them, we would have put a freezer full together. We just had 2-3 brush piles that were just loaded. Yeah, pound, yeah. We don't talk about that, though, Scholar. Keep that quiet. And yeah, man, listen, I get a lot of people asking to go fishing with me, and I'll be the first to tell you. The day I took my granddaughter out fishing, right? Now, I used to take people fishing with me all the time, and I love to do it. But the problem with it is now is that it's become so much work that I'll get to fish for the first half of the day, and then for the next 4 or 5 hours, it's filming. And trust me, nobody enjoys that when you're just having to sit there. So Demiki, I like my Demiki Vault. I think if you're gonna pick up some blades, you know, it's of course it's a little bit more expensive than some of the silver buddies you're gonna find, but if you want to build confidence, that's the one to go with. Texas rig is great. Uh, you know, we're gonna actually do a video talking about a specific worm rig that I really like this time of year that seems to never get any love during the winter time, but is very good. Release in the grease. That's right. I like the cold water crank. Right now, though, the problem for me, everything's in, you know, like 15 to 25 feet on the bank. So, like, I'm having to throw like DT or DT20s and, you know, 10XDs. Smallmouth, not as much. Yeah, I'm a jerkbait junkie. I mean, yeah, a jerkbait has been one of my probably more like one of my confidence baits for almost as long as I've been fishing. I always jokingly say probably, you know, the first 5 baits that I really had confidence or fished was, you know, a Texas rig worm, a spinner bait, jig, jerk bait, and then a popper. Took me longer to gain confidence uh, in poppers than it did, you know, spinner baits and jigs. How funny is that? Bank fishing in a shallow pond. I'll tell you what now, Brent. You find one piece of structure and you find the right angle. I tell this story all the time. There's a lot of strip mine ponds around here. And we run up on this one that we may have or may not have should have been in. But they had dammed up a creek and the old creek channel run through it. And there was this little island in the middle that run down on a long point. You could get on one cast. Me and my brother and my buddy was fishing it. And you lined up at one cast and you took that worm and dropped it off. And when that worm would fall, they'd bite it. And it, you know, it's probably 2.5 foot little drop. But if you missed it, it was probably, you know, as wide as this desk, you know, 4 or 5 feet. And if you was off by a foot to the left or the right, you wouldn't get a bite. But man, we sit there and caught, I bet we caught 8 or 10. Some of them, you know, not a lot of big ones, but, you know, it was still awesome. Texas rig and Carolina rig flukes. Hey, listen, Carolina rig fluke up here is a deadly little bait. LV 500, Vision 110, Spro crankbaits. Yep, I like my Spros. Rock crawlers and Johns. You found it. It's stole 3 of your crankbaits. But it's, yeah, man, during the wintertime, those pond bass, they will stack in one spot. If you can find it and find the right angle to cast to them, golly, man, they'll destroy. I mean, you'll just sit there and make one cast repeatedly. Dang, walleye in a strip job? That's crazy. I don't know if I'd want to eat. I mean, because listen, if I'm going to listen, I like crappie, but walleye, whew. But I don't know if I'm eating walleye out of a strip job. I don't know if it's happening. Hey, Brady, listen, cold water is just it's just different. They still buy it. Don't don't let all the hoopla of uh, that they're finicky or they're not biting or all that. Especially you said you're down in Florida, so I don't think they ever stop biting. That's why they're so daggone big down there. Strike King 3 series, 5 day. Yep, that's a good one. Uh, oh, it's clean spring water fed. Okay, well, that's different. So, I love some eyes. That's good. I hope you do get to replace a few rods. Broke tips, yeah. Loose ceramics. I get it. I always seem to have that one year when that seems to be the case. I tend to do stupid stuff too, though, so then I end up breaking them. I don't do much catfishing very much anymore. Uh, I enjoy it, but you know, I don't do a whole lot of it anymore. Listen, in the springtime, I can catch all the catch you want on a jig head, man. Oh, North Alabama, Huntsville. All right. Originally from Florida. Yeah, yeah. But Huntsville ain't too bad. You still got, you'll get some cold weather and they'll slow down. But, you know, again, it really depends on if you're in that, those river system lakes or, which down that way, I'm not sure exactly what that's close to. Or, your bigger reservoirs. Current means a lot, and current will bunch them up on those Tennessee River lakes. Like you get up toward, Chick and Gunnersville. Once it really gets cold, you get down in those low 50s and upper 40s. They like to get in those ditches, those creek channel ditches, out of that current, so they're not, constantly having to swim. But I don't know. Winter, I've been throwing an Alabama rig a lot. I've been toying with some heavy spinner baits too, in deeper water. The gravities, I like those 8s. Listen, Arc makes a lot of good baits, rods. Their reels are good. They make a lot of good stuff. Oh wow, buy one get one. That was sweet. Yeah, Gunnersville and Wheeler, they fish very differently. Very different lakes. Yeah, I haven't tried the Monster BFS yet. I've got a Cashin BFS and a Shimano BFS reel. I'm going to put them to the test. Uh, I had a Dobbins, maybe, but it was an extra fast, and I was throwing the Karashi on it, and I did not like that. It just would not cast worth crap. It was just too heavy, or the bait was just too light. So I got me a cash, and I think it'll do a little bit better. Haven't tried it yet, but that little bait's awesome. Oh man, Saddle popped apart. Dang. Oh, sorry. Again, I forget this, guys. I talk about it. I'm like, oh. Arc jerk baits. I got a few of them. I haven't really tested them. I need to put them on. I've had them for a while now. Yeah, I love Gunner's Wheel. I'm with you, Claude, on that. Spinnerbait ain't had much luck with them this year. I'm going to maybe throw like an ounce. Like, I mean, it's going to be big. I'll probably cut off any sort of second blade on them to keep it down lower. And I'm going to toy with the size, maybe a bigger. If I'm going to be around smallmouth, which more likely I will, I'll probably go smaller to keep it down. Yes, the Karashi can be a real deal. What's the best BFS rod and reel for around $120? Yeah, Skylar, everybody else is going to have to answer that. I will say this. I don't know how much it is. Gosh, what is the name of that company? Hold on. Gosh, what do they make? Bear with me. There is one company, Cashin, but theirs is, like I said, definitely not cheap. But it's great, and it's American made, which I do very much love. Where is it? I know they got a lot of props because you could cast it so far. And this has been a couple, 3 years back at iCast. And I remember trying it and I really, really liked it. But I know there for a while they were having issues keeping it in stock. Bear with me. I'm scrolling. Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to break myself. What is this company's name, man? I'm pretty sure this is a wake bait from them. I cannot believe it. Jinko made one. I don't see them on here, and I don't remember how much it was, but I know Jinko made a BFS that was really, really nice. Let's see. Sorry, gentlemen. Yeah, spinnerbait body is one of my favorites. It's just the clear water up here. It's just so hard to get on a good spinnerbait bite. Magnum Rage Bug. Yes, I have thrown Magnum Rage Bug. I like it during the summer a little more. Yeah. It's hard to find the BFS stuff cheaper. But you know, the BFS, I'll tell you, you know what? So after I could, you know, when I was playing around with the BFS stuff, I just ended up sticking it on spinning gear. So now, like a top water or something you got to work, I do like on a bait caster. It's just easier. Your hand's not going to slip off. But, you know, I mean, as expensive as the stuff is, like 90% of it I can fish on a spinning reel. Yeah, man, Kesking, they do make some good. They make some good stuff. No, if it's BFS, it's everybody's running the price of that stuff up because it's so hot. Nothing wrong. Oh, nothing wrong with a good old Black Max. Nothing wrong with an ugly stick either. I fished my first tournament with Shakespeare 2-piece spinning rods and reels that I got from Walmart for like the combo price was maybe $14, and they came with line. I didn't use line, but yeah, finished second. I'll tell you what, man. So this is something that I've noticed, and I guess it's because the price of everything's gone up. You know, me and Debo talked about this on a live stream that I was on with him a few weeks back, and you can't find aluminum body $100 aluminum body casting reels anymore. They're all composite or carbon, fancy smancy words for plastic, which blows, man. Forever and a day, gear and everything was what the better stuff was beginning to get cheaper and cheaper, and that just ain't the case anymore, which is BS. Man, look, Bass Pro Shops makes some really good reels. I mean, if you're starting out, and I don't know how much they are still, I don't know if they're aluminum body anymore either. I'd have to look them up. But every other year, they're, I ain't looked at them in so long, to be honest with you. I don't even remember. I don't even know if they still make them, but they're pro qualifiers, dual brake system. As far as reels, they're carbon light. I had a carbon light forever that was one of my favorite jerk baits rods, and I am really picky about those. So yeah, Kesking has come a long way. Bad thing about Kesking though is they've come a long way and they screwed over a whole lot of people doing it too. I won't talk about that too much. So. Yeah, I like the DC stuff, but I mean, there's a lot of good reels out there that are better priced. On the Daiwa side, honestly, that will keep you from backlashing as much. An old Silver Max. Man, I tell you what now, I'm old enough I've got some reels in there in my little drawer that I've had forever. And I tell you, man, the size and the weight, and you couldn't get a good, cheap casting reel. And, it's why I still to this day, yeah, the older models, man. So I always said the Lew's LFS were really the workhorse reels. I hate that they kind of changed those up. And they're like $130 now, the new version of them. But I used to always, as well, going back to what I was saying before, the rods and stuff and the reels. You couldn't get a good cheap casting reel back in the day, and a lot of times it's why I've been doing this so long. That's why I still click the button on a casting rod, or casting reel to feed line, back feed. And it's why I back reel on a spinning because, back in the day, it didn't matter. You pay exorbitant amounts, even, 30 years ago for a spinning rod, and the drag still sucked. So, if you was going to depend on that, you just going to lose. Oh, I have a pistol grip. Yes, pistol grips. 5 foot. What is it? I don't think I have them anymore, but I swear, man, those are some of the. I remember those. Gosh, you cast things a mile. They had no sensitivity, but I mean, like 5 foot. I'll tell you what. That's what a man ought to come out with for kayakers. Those 5'6" pistol grips. You talk about. Oh my gosh. Whoa, they're so good. 5'7" heavy, yeah, man. Oh my god, one hander, skipping. Oh my god, so good. My buddy, uh, Triton. I got to talk to him. Hey, if you're still on here, Joey, man, did you get your motor? But he'll tell you about them now. He loved them too. He's probably still got some, if I'm guessing. Yeah, we got our idea. We're gonna come back out with the pistol grip for kayak fishing. Got some old Zebcos, yeah, with those pistol grips. But yeah, that's crazy stuff right there. Oh, remembering some of the stuff that we fished with. I tell you, I keep telling people I'm gonna come out with a because it's like I work with a bunch of guys, who fish Tennessee River, down toward Knoxville and stuff, and I don't think they believe in anything that's weighted more than like 3/8 ounce. It's their fish just don't get that deep, I don't think, and I mean, they just that's it. So it's for me, I mean, if you're not making 3/4 an ounce, and heck, I'd like to have an ounce and a half in a lot of things. So, poppy line that broke. Yeah. Who remembers when Berkley come out with fluorocarbon? Remember the old Vanish? That stuff was crap. I bet I've still got some. I bet you $10 I've still got Vanish down here somewhere. But well, gentlemen, and if there's any ladies in here, I ain't gonna stay on here much longer. I just wanted to come in and say hi to everybody, talk a little bit of fishing. We did our podcast earlier, so I just wanted to, jump in and tell everybody what's up. Braid. I'll tell you what, man. I remember some old braid. I can't remember the brand name, but golly, you talk about rope. It was crazy. Back in they'd probably be around the early 90s, late 80s. Merry Christmas, everybody. It has been a blast. I love getting to sit here and talk to y'all. We hope we're going to get to do some stuff where we do some actual live streams on the water. It may not even be just fishing, but we hope to have some guests on and do some stuff. Vanish line, yeah. Fly rods with Vanish line. Got my floating fly rods pulled up. That's wild, dude. Do they still make Vanish line? Do they still make it? Or are you like me? You just don't float and fly anymore. They're old. My old float and fly rods, I ain't touched them in so many years. The line on them probably just turned to dust as soon as I touched it. Good to see you, Steven. Mike, good to see you, Trevor, Bassmatic, Harold, all you guys. Brock, Lowbrow, man, I still got to get a hold of you. My brain's fried, sir. My brain's fried. But yeah, I want to get out. I'm dying to get out and do some fishing. I'll be honest with you. Still sales at Wally World, huh? I have to go pick some up, just see if they've upgraded it. Because used to, man, that stuff breaks so easy. Bought it about 4 years ago. Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with some Berkeley smooth casting. I'll tell you that. Or big game. That stuff's still good stuff. The old mono. He would be fun to go do some big catfishing. Like I said, if things work out, uh, hopefully we'll get to do a little bit of stuff. So I'll have a little more time on my hands, which we're doing pretty good right now. I mean, we're trying to stay about 3-4 weeks ahead. We've almost got every single video for December in the bag now. Yeah, man. Yeah. 30-pound big game. I mean, that stuff's good stuff, man. Can't say nothing. I think that's what Joey still flips with to this day. I don't know if I could flip with anything but fluorocarbon or braid anymore, though. And I'll tell you, you want to slow a bait down? I'll tell you this right now. I used to throw 8 or 10 pound. It just depended on a spinning rod, weightless Senko, and it'd slow it down, slow that fall down, and dude, the bass just can't stand it. You just see your line swimming off to the side. "31st anniversary." That's crazy. All right, all. Thanks for hanging out with me, man. This has been fun. It's good to talk to you guys. I don't ever get to talk to you guys. I do miss doing the live streams, but where I do that every Wednesday podcast with those guys. I always say, forgive me. The evenings is when I get to hit when I get to hit or when I get to really spend the time with my family most of the time, because I work 12-hour swing shifts. So the evenings are pretty, they're a lot of times they're family time. Man, I don't know if you was in here earlier, but like I said, right now I wouldn't hit that place to save my life. I'd probably wait a little bit. I'm having too much fun on South Holston. But the other thing is, like I said, man, I just don't take a lot of people fish. It's not that I don't want to fish with you guys or anybody. It's just that I think a lot of people think that when you do YouTube, you just go fishing. And if you're working full time, like if you're working full time and doing YouTube, if you get a day on the lake, which is 90% of the time all I get is one day, you have to make content. And so that means you'll get to fish for maybe half a day and then spend the other half a day recording videos, or the rest of the parts of your videos. And I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I love it. It's opened a lot of doors, but it's, when all I've got is 4 hours in a 8 to 10 hour day, I love fishing. And forgive me if I'm a little greedy, but I put enough work in to where that's my 4 hours, and I'm gonna go fishing that one day a week. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Gabe, don't, like I said, don't be upset. It's just I'm going to go fishing, and I'm going to fish the way I want to fish, and it's just how it is. I don't, like I said, I took my granddaughter out and we fished half a day. My whole goal was to get her on a bass, and we did. And then I told her she was going to hate her life for the next 4 hours, and she did because she just sat in the boat and watched me film content, and it's not fun. Because Mike, my editor, makes me look real good at it, but I'm not. You know I've got a boat, but thought I'd ask. Well, I mean, I'd love to take you. Don't get me wrong, and eventually we will. But just give me some time, and please forgive me. And I'd love to take you to looking at some deeper stuff. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's fun. It's fun. Let's see. Look into deeper stuff and let me know your thoughts. Oh, you mean like deeper the Skylar? You mean deeper the sonar? From what I've seen, it's great. Man, I mean, anybody that bank fish, the higher end ones, like you can get different versions, but if that's what you're talking about, man, the higher end ones, you can literally map the bottom, contour map, use it to contour map the bottom. You get down imaging, 2D sonar. Man, look, I'll tell you this right now. If I was bank fishing, I would have me a deeper, period. But yeah, the fish finder, yeah, man. Yeah. I think those things are awesome. Now, of course, you know that little ball, you got to cast it out there. So I'd make sure I had me a rod that had, you know, some pretty good line on it, because that would suck to heave that out there. It just, that would blow. That would be the worst part about it. Probably put it on some braid. All right, guys, I am gone. Y'all be good. Big gizzards. But I'm getting out of here. We will do this more often. I'll try to get back in. We'll try to do it once a month. Uh, so hopefully, yeah, 60-pound braid. That's what I'd do. But anyway, love you geeks, man. Appreciate what you do for us in the channel. And let's get out of here. It's bedtime.